Welcome back. So, turns out to be a busy day after all. Here's the great thing with deadlines with the National Hockey League. The deadline passes and we all go, that's it, huh? I was even trying to figure out like a way to introduce the video to kind of go, yep, so that's it. That's all you're getting. But yeah, and then we got deals trickling out at noon hour. So the deadline is now passed. If you want to make moves, you have to wait until Thursday in order to make those moves if you're a GM, unless you are Seattle. Seattle now is going to have a good idea of what they're going to have to draft from, and this is why I didn't do any mock drafts. This is why right here. So it started off. These are in the order that they leaked out. Joseph Kozanosh goes to Arizona in exchange for Aiden Hill. There's a second-round pick in 2022 going to Arizona, a seventh-round pick going to San Jose. Aiden Hill is a good goaltender. I saw some online reaction like, oh, what's the point of this? Why are they... Well, see, now they're going to expose Jones, you would think, in the expansion draft, and now they have Aiden Hill as likely a 1B situation. I can't see Jones going to Seattle. I can't. They're negotiating with Drieger. They're likely to take Jake Allen. I don't see them taking Jones. But Kozanosh is an interesting one for Arizona. So now they'll protect Darcy Kemper. That's what they wanted to do. So all the Kemper rumors are laid to rest throughout the expansion process. We'll see if they come back after the expansion is done. But I like the deal for both teams. I've got to be honest. I like the deal for both teams. The second round pick may seem a little bit steep, but the asking prices are a little bit steep when it comes to hay. So we need some help. So we'll see how that deal works out and how Aiden Hill plays in San Jose. I like Hill. I do. I think he deserves a chance to at least be a backup in the NHL. Then the Vancouver Canucks made news with Jason Dickinson being traded from Dallas to Vancouver. You know I love this deal. You know I being a fan of both teams, this trade's perfect. Jason Dickinson's a third-line center. He is a fantastic defensive forward. There's a little bit of offense in there too, but the reality is defensively he is excellent. He is that third-line center Vancouver tried to get Sutter to work out as. And while I like Sutter, the contract was high. Now we'll see what the price is for Dickinson. But hey, a third-round pick in 2021, and by price, I mean contract price. But yeah, third-round pick going to Dallas. Dallas was going to lose Dickinson likely for nothing. They weren't able to protect everybody. So this way, at least they get a draft pick back. But I like the trade for Vancouver because it answers that nagging question about third-line center. The idea that, oh, they'll put JT Miller on third line. Why do you take a guy like Miller and put him on the third line? He belongs in the top six. You can have more than one center on a top six line. Sometimes that's preferable when you're in situations where you need to win a face-off, have two centers on the ice. So yeah, I think that's a good deal for both teams there. Then Jared McCann, acquired by the Toronto Maple Leafs. So McCann moves on to, I think this is his fourth team now. He goes Florida, Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, I'm going to say this straight out. Pittsburgh doesn't trade McCann unless for expansion reasons. So now he goes to Toronto. Toronto will protect him. Going the other way to Pittsburgh, Philip Hallander, who was a 2018 number 58 draft pick. So relatively decent prospect there. And a seventh round pick as well, just thrown in there to make the deal work. So now Pittsburgh doesn't lose McCann for nothing. This is what these deals are about. And so, yeah, Jared McCann's going to be a member of the Leafs. He's a good third-line center, which means Toronto's going to have other moves to be made as well. Or, you know, with McCann being protected, maybe they've got a forward that they'll have out there that Seattle will take instead. There may be a deal between Dubas and the Seattle Kraken. We'll see, right? Now, what's interesting is all of the trades seem to have been finalized, and the Islanders don't have an eligible defenseman unless they're going to expose Mayfield. So it's possible. And this kind of involves, I should have like a board with strings and a bunch of thumbtacks, because maybe there's a deal that's already been worked out with Seattle that Seattle's going to take a certain player. So maybe they'll expose one of the defensemen they don't have any intention of losing, like a Mayfield. It's just weird because Leddy got traded so they wouldn't lose him for anything or for nothing, but then they needed to get a defenseman. And I was watching as a retweet saying, we have an hour left until the Islanders have to acquire a defenseman. Half an hour, 15 minutes. Now, one thing that they can do is re-sign Andy Green to a 1-year contract extension. Re-sign one of their UFA defensemen to a 1-year extension, and then that qualifies for expansion draft purposes. So maybe that's the plan. But right now, they don't have one. So, and I'm saying right now as to where I'm at as I record this. We'll see if news comes out later on in the day. Maybe Lou Lamoriello's making a trade by carrier pigeon. Maybe it's in the carrier pigeon queue. I don't know. Lou does things different, so we'll see what happens. And then the big deal went down. So this feels like a major trade. And back in the old days of THG, I would have each of these trades as their own video, but I'm going to put them all into one. Ryan Ellis is a member of the Philadelphia Flyers. Yeah, I love Ryan Ellis's game. I think he's fantastic. It's a really solid acquisition in exchange for Philippe Myers and Nolan Patrick going to the Nashville Predators. Now, if you want a Nolan Patrick Nashville jersey, okay, but you probably shouldn't get one because he was flipped to the Vegas Golden Knights in exchange for Cody Glass. Now, what's interesting with this is Cody Glass is the last of the 2017 first-round picks. This is Vegas kind of saying, hey, we don't think Glass is going to develop, or saying they believe that they can turn Nolan Patrick around. Nolan Patrick had a miserable year with Philadelphia, but he stayed in the lineup. So it's an interesting move by Vegas. I learned a long time ago, don't necessarily, say anything bad about a Vegas pickup, but it's interesting because remember going into this whole process, there were people saying, well, Vegas is just going to be able to make out like bandits with this because they're not in the expansion draft, so teams can send players to Vegas. Yeah, they got Nolan Patrick for Cody Glass. I think I like this deal. Here's the thing. So Ryan Ellis is an excellent defenseman, and I'm surprised Nashville parts ways with him, but they didn't want to lose one of their core guys. I don't know that I guess they protect Myers in all likelihood. And of course, Glass is there too. I'll be interested to see who Nashville protects, because there was a belief it was going to be 4 defensemen, 4 forwards, the 8 players. But it is interesting to see Ellis moved on from, because I would not have thought Ellis was going anywhere. So if I had to give winners, I don't like to. Best player in the deal. That'd be Philadelphia with Ryan Ellis. That'd be Jaron McCann going to Toronto, Jason Dickinson to Vancouver, and Aiden Hill to San Jose. But that second-round draft pick helps. And again, this is so that you don't lose these guys for nothing in expansion. And yeah, the Philadelphia, Nashville, Vegas one, to me it just felt like when I saw that report, I thought, well, who else did they have to give Vegas for Cody Glass? I know Glass has had a bit of a rough start, but the potential's still there. So we'll see. We'll see how that works out. I really thought Glass was going to get a shot at probably a more prominent role with Vegas after playoff run goes to the Final Four and they don't quite get over the top. I thought, well, give Glass a shot. So off to Nashville it is. Vegas is unpredictable. All right, so there you go. You guys are caught up on what's happened to this point. Unless there's other trades yet to come out or other signings yet to come out, I'll be here to report on them. Frederick Claesson signed an extension with Tampa 1 year for I think $750,000 or $700,000. But this I felt like this is a lot. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. As always, again, I think Canuck fans are going to love Jason Dickinson's game. I think he is a pure shutdown center. He is capable of that. There's some leadership qualities, and he's still in his mid-20s, so it's a good pickup. But let me know your thoughts. Hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.